What do you do if your child is being bullied, and how do you get your child back to school in September now that schools are reopening? Well, I'm MG and I'm an author, I'm a parent, and my son was bullied for a number of years. Yes, unfortunately years, bearing in mind we had lockdown in between. And I share with you some advice, some tips, some things that I tried that worked, some that didn't work that might work for you, in the hope that I can give you some support and make you feel not as alone as you can feel if your child is being bullied and you're trying to navigate this by yourself. Well, the first thing that I would say is contact your child's new teacher. Now, do it by email. Always make sure that every communication you have with the school or your child's teacher is written by is documented in an email, because at least that way there's proof that that conversation took place. Now, the first thing I would do is email them and tell them, introduce your child. Tell them if they've had issues last year with bullying, explain what happened, explain who was involved, explain the impact that had on your child, explain measures that were put in place, whether those measures worked, whether they didn't, and what you would like them to do going forward. It might even just be the case that you say to them, this is what happened last year. Please do not sit my child next to any of those children, and please could you keep your eyes open for any behaviour that is going on, or any behaviour that my child exhibits that might highlight the fact that they're having issues. Now that's the first thing that I would do. Now the reason I do that is because normally there's a handover from the old teacher to the new teacher, and they are supposed to discuss that particular child. Sometimes issues like bullying are not documented in your child's file, so they don't get passed on. So the new teacher is completely oblivious to any issues that have been going on in the previous year. So at least that way they know. If they're going to do some kind of seating plan, they will not sit your child next to any of those children. They might end up sitting your child at the front, or sitting the other children at the front, and rearranging the class so that he or she has a best way of managing that class. He or she can see what is going on in that class, and any behaviour that is unacceptable can be obvious. Now, a lot of parents that I speak to say to me, well, we're just going to kind of see how things go. But if you do that, you're just, number one, wasting time. And number two, if things kick off from the first day of term and you haven't informed the teacher, and it means that seating plans have to be changed, anything that kicks off straight away is going to affect your child. They're going to be suddenly thinking, right, okay, so here we are again. Term's only just begun and we've started all over again. At least if this way, if you inform the teacher, you can put measures in place to prevent that from happening. I'm not saying it will prevent it from happening, but it potentially could. And what you want to do is give your child as much of a clean slate as you possibly can. And trying to inform the school ahead of time is a good way of doing that. Now, I'll be back for a video on how to empower your child a little bit later on. So yeah, I wish you all the best of luck, and I hope your child has a brilliant year.